Hello, as the title says, this is my Ubisoft special video from Stupidity in the Gamosphere. This is going to have a little bit of a different format. We're going to focus on, the first half of the video is going to be on various thoughts that I have about stupidity going on in the Gamosphere right now. And the second half is going to be focused specifically on Ubisoft. Be aware that the second half will have cursing, foul language, and descriptions of anatomical violence that are physically impossible, or not quite impossible, but excruciatingly painful. So, viewer discretion is advised. Okay then, without further ado, let's get into it. There are just three things that have been floating around this YouTube community that I'm just gonna state. And not in the YouTube community, in the Gamosphere in general. Number one, I think we can all agree that Nintendo won E3. Microsoft did a solid C effort when compared to Sony, which got an F. I know I originally said a D-, but it's an F. I watched that entire conference, and they get an F. An F. Microsoft did a C, which is marginally better, which is better than Sony, but not by much. Enough to get to pass. But when you compare those two conferences to Nintendo's event, they get downgraded. Sony fails even harder, and Microsoft gets a D, okay? But I've been hearing people say Microsoft and Nintendo won E3. Microsoft didn't win E3. Microsoft didn't win shit, okay? Microsoft basically, maintained, like here's the thing, okay? Microsoft, this E3, had to show the games, but they also had not to fuck up like they did last year. Last year, they messed up bad. Don Matrick and Phil Spencer went up there and just things got out of control. Now, once you understand this, that Microsoft had to come into this and not mess up, you begin to understand why they took no real risks, didn't really bring the heat, didn't really show anything. Because Microsoft, believe it or not, Microsoft is not a gaming company. They're a software company. They don't know how to bring the heat like that. This is not their bread and butter. Microsoft, the Xbox division, is like just a rich man's fancy. It's not their bread and butter. So they don't really have to do that much. They aren't that invested in making this stuff work. Which is why Rare hasn't made a good game in 15 years, well, however long they've been with Microsoft. They haven't made a good game since. They don't care, because it's not their bread and butter. This is just a rich man's fancy. Sony, if you are a Sony fan and you say Sony won E3, you're an idiot. There's no. I can't even, with Microsoft, I can kind of understand where you'd be like, well, I like their conference, but Sony... As I stated in the earlier video, yesterday's video, if you stood in line, if you went and sat in a movie theater and watched that boring-ass conference, you're an idiot, okay? But now that we've gotten that out of the way, our second stupid thing is that we've heard recent accounts. I used to be subscribed to this joker, but not anymore. His name rhymes with Jokio and Tokyo and Cornholio. But he claims that the Nintendo Direct was weak and wasn't strong. Here's my... Not only is this dude a phony and a faker and just not in touch with the gaming community at all, but please stop listening to him, because if you listen to stupid people, they'll make you stupid. Okay? I know this is a fact. If you hang around with stupid people that are dumber than you are, they bring your overall intelligence down. If you hang out with intelligent people, they bring your overall intelligence up. It's a fact of life. I've seen this happen. If you when I used to substitute teach during the summer, if you take a kid that's doing moderately okay and put him with smart kids, or her, their skills will increase. If you take a smart kid and put them in a class full of children that aren't as smart as they are, their talents get deadened down. So basically, what I'm saying is this: don't listen to that idiot, please. Don't listen to him. He's an idiot. He doesn't know what's going on. He's just doesn't get it. Okay. His website pretendo.com is an apt name because he is a pretendo. He's a faux Nintendo gamer. He's not a real Nintendo gamer. He's a faux Nintendo gamer. So don't listen to him, or he'll make you stupid like he is. Our third and final story before we get into Ubisoft is a very, very deep, deep story that really, really hurts my feelings to say this, but well, actually it isn't, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I heard a few people in the interwebs, in the gamosphere, claim that Zelda demo, that Zelda trailer was a pre-rendered cutscene. Now, when I first saw that demo yesterday, I was that cutscene. I was like, that looks like the in-game engine. And you want to know what tipped it off? Was the wind blowing that grass looked very like in-gamey. It didn't look like something that was animated. It just looked like it was part of the physics engine of a game. And I'll be damned, that was the in-game engine making that cutscene. Which only proves one thing. That can't be on the Wii U, because that's the PS4, son. 8 gigabytes of RAM! 8 gigabytes! But in all seriousness, if you thought that shit was a pre-rendered cutscene, you're an idiot, and you're stupid. Stop being stupid. Don't doubt Nintendo. Nintendo is not going to give you bullshots. They don't. They give you the real thing. If they can't show something that looks like it's worthwhile, they won't show it. Simple as that. So it's time to move on to our main stupidity of the gamosphere topic. Ubisoft. Ubisoft, Ubisoft, Ubisoft. Ubisoft. After the cut. Ubisoft basically showed their true colors at this year's E3. They basically showed that they are some dirty, rotten bastards. Dirty, rotten bastards. They basically have 2 or 3 games that they're sitting on for the Wii U that they're going to wait until the install base goes up. The Wii U has a bigger install base than the Xbox One, but they're sitting on games for the Wii U and putting out Kinect games for the Xbox One, even though the Xbox One just dropped the fucking Kinect. These are games, do you honest, that are guaranteed to flop? Because I can guarantee you right now, any sales that the Xbox One has after this point will be for the Kinectless bundle and not for the one with the Kinect. No one's gonna do that. No one's gonna fucking buy that. And yet, Ubisoft has the sheer nerve to do this shit. I'm done. I'm done with Ubisoft. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. And before anyone says, oh, you don't like Ubisoft, you don't play their games, you're a Nintendo gamer. For the Wii, bitch. Far Cry Vengeance. And this game was excellent. It had innovative use of the Wii game, of the Wii nunchuck, and Wiimote. I have Red Steel 2 somewhere around here. With the Wii Motion Plus, it came with it. It was like $49.99. I got it. So, yeah, I've bought quite a few Ubisoft games. I had all of their Game Boy Advanced and Game Boy Rayman games. I loved some of Ubisoft's earlier games. Um, Hell, I played a lot of their movie license games, but Ubisoft has gone down the shitter lately. They've gone down the shitter. I'm sorry. I like Prince of Persia, but they've gone down the shitter lately. Assassin's Creed is boring as fuck. It's a boring game. The first Assassin's Creed had some issues that they fixed in Assassin's Creed 2, but then they made 2 fucking games after that, built off of Assassin's Creed 2, and it just started going downhill at that point. Then they made Assassin's Creed 3, and that game just... God, Jesus. Assassin's Creed 3 is like, should have been the end of the Assassin's Creed franchise. That should have been the last game in that series. Like, they should have let Assassin's Creed rest for a little bit, maybe give it to someone for like two and a half years, and make it a summer game, and maybe do something different. Maybe use the same engine, but do something different, because Assassin's Creed is boring as fuck now. That being said, the person who said this was Yves Guillemot, the CEO of Ubisoft. Ubisoft has already stated they want to be like the French EA. Anyone who wants to be like EA is out of their damn mind. But, you know, Ubisoft is in many ways worse than EA, because EA is like up front and in your face. They're like, look, we ain't making games for the Wii U. Fuck you. We ain't making games for the 3DS. Fuck you. Ubisoft wants the best, wants to have their cake and eat it too. Well, we really want the Wii U to do well. Then why do you basically sabotage all your games that come to the system? Okay? And I can prove they sabotaged all their fucking games that came to the system. Okay. Proof. Proof positive that they sabotaged all of them. Okay. Assassin's Creed... Sorry, Zombie U. That game was okay for a launch game, but if they had just delayed that game for like 3 months and added some more polish to it, maybe some more fucking weapons, would have been a better game. Simple as that. So, I mean, Zombie U was good, but it hadn't reached its full potential. It could have been a lot better. Not to mention, it was a port of a canceled Xbox 360 game. So, I mean, it's not like it was really all that expensive to make. They just changed some shit and slaved it to the Wii U gamepad for motion, for attacks and shit. Assassin's Creed 3. Oh, God. That game just generally sucked all around, but the Wii U version was released initially at full price. You release a game that's already out on other systems full price on the Wii U, you're basically saying, I want this game to fail. Rayman Legends. Delayed 6.5 months so they could port it to every other fucking system. Where it bombed on every other fucking system except for the Wii U. Then we get announcements that Watch Dogs is delayed. Okay, fair enough. I didn't want that shitty game anyway. Then we find out that we get Assassin's Creed 4, none of the DLC for that game. We get a whole bunch of Let's Dance games, which are shitty. Let's just be frank here. They're shitty games. Let's Dance games are shitty. They aren't even fun party games. Wii Karaoke, I would love that game to come here to America, because that seems like that would be a fun game. But that's just my own personal opinion. Basically, but to the pièce de résistance, the coup de grace, the finishing blow that basically lets us know that Ubisoft is full of shit, is that this announcement that they're making Kinect games for a Kinectless Xbox One that's going to release when the Kinectless Xbox One is like starting to really take off. But they have games for the Wii U that they're sitting on. Really? 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 You guys are cocksuckers. I'm sorry. You're cocksuckers. You don't. Ubisoft just. I'm not supporting them anymore. I'm done. I'm done with Ubisoft. I'm done. I'm finished. I'm not buying any of their games. If I really want to play a Ubisoft game, I'll get it used at GameStop or Walmart or Target or wherever. But I'm not buying a new Ubisoft game. I'll be damned if they get money off of me. No. Now that we've gotten that out the way, stay tuned for our conclusion after the cut. In conclusion, the stupidity hasn't been too bad this week. There's been a lot of, rabid fans of the Xbox and Sony that have been trying to say, "Oh, well, Microsoft." But we all know who took the award at this year's E3, okay? Who basically shat all over everybody else and smashed their sandcastle. And it was the big N. It was leave luck to heaven. With that being said, it's time for me to talk about upcoming events. This Sunday from 7:30 to 9 o'clock, I'll be hosting a podcast where I'll be talking about the overall E3 conference, what I thought about it, what was going on, everything like that. And I'll also have some other guests. If you would like to be involved, I will be making a separate video talking about what that entails so that people will know what you need to do in order to get into the podcast. It's going to be a Google Hangout, so I'll make a separate vid talking all about if you want to be in the podcast. Any questions you have that you want, that we're going to have a section where we're going to answer questions, leave it in the video that I'm going to be uploading either tonight or tomorrow, giving you the information in order to be part of the podcast. Also, I will be uploading an in-depth review of the Nintendo Direct and all the other stuff Nintendo's been doing. It's going to be a doozy. I'm going to have to really get down into it, but it's going to be fun, and I'm going to enjoy doing it. So without further ado, and look forward to that on Friday. But without further ado, I bid you adieu. Good day.